Mohammed Hijab just released a video claiming that he can prove Islam is true in 5 minutes. But what he presents is not a 5-minute proof. It's a 5-minute faceplant. So in this video, we're going to walk through his proof and expose where everything completely unravels. Trust me, the final argument he gives in this section is without question his weakest.
And the Prophet of Islam made predictions that were so frequent and so precise that no other figure in human history made them. For example, he told us that the Roman Empire and the Persian Empire would both fall to the Muslims. Now, according to Barnaby Rogerson, he said that the similitude of the Arabs at that time taking over the Persian and Roman Empire is the same as Eskimos taking over Russia and America.
This is Hijab's flagship argument. Now, that might sound impressive until you look at the actual sources. And this is where Hijab, who loves randomly dropping Latin terms, will really appreciate what's coming next. This whole thing looks like a vaticinium ex eventu, a prophecy written after the event. Number one, the Quranic passage doesn't say what Hijab says it says. The actual Quranic passage relevant here is Surah 32-7, and it does not say that the Romans and Persians would fall to the Muslims. What it says is that the Romans would regain victory after being defeated. But here's the problem. Critical Quranic scholars have long argued that this passage is very likely a vaticinium ex eventu, a prophecy after the fact. In other words, it wasn't a prophecy, it was a commentary. Number two, Hijab's example comes from the Hadith, not from the Quran. Critical Hadith scholarship from Cook and Motsky, Donner, Brown, and other people, they've shown that many of these prophecies are transparently written after the events they supposedly predict. These texts were compiled literally generations after Muhammad, and by that point, Muslims had already conquered vast territories, meaning the authors of these hadith already knew what happened. This is called survivorship bias. Only the hits survive. Third, even if you granted everything that Muhammad wants, it still doesn't prove that Islam is true. Let's just be unbelievably generous for just a second. All you've shown is that Muhammad correctly predicted a geopolitical shift, something people do constantly. It still would not prove that God revealed it, that Islam is true, that the Quran is divine. At most, it would be a lucky hit. So Hijab's final flagship argument is built on 1, a Quranic passage that likely isn't a prophecy at all, 2, a hadith claim written long after the events it predicts, 3, severe survivorship bias, and 4, absolutely zero evidence of divine origin. Hijab set out to prove Islam in 5 minutes, and what we actually got was a chain of arguments that never come close to establishing Islam. If this is the strongest 5-minute proof Islam has to offer, Islam is in very, very serious trouble. Oh, and by the way, Christianity is true.